Hello loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here. This is another battle against my cousin slash rival Tyler. Check him out. The link to his channel is in the description, as well as the link to these battles that we've been having, from his narrated point of view. The last battle we had, I won. It was a UU battle, which I selected the tier. So since I was the winner, he was going to decide the tier. He chose RU. And as you may or may not be aware, RU is not my favorite tier, to say the least. I was successful against my cousin slash rival Tyler in the RU tier a while ago. Like maybe a few months we had an RU battle and I won. So, I didn't think I would do too badly this battle. So I just threw this team together. It's RU, part of the reason I don't like RU is just because the tier is so small. It's limited to what pokes you can use, I feel. But I put this team together. I felt it would work pretty well. You got the Regenerator Core, Tangrowth, Alomomola, Doug Trio to trap things, Delphox to do tricky things, Hitmontop to spin, and of course Mega Steelix to get up rocks. And Ty's using a bunch of stuff that I've never seen him use before. So let's get this started and see how this battle goes down. I lead with my Mega Steelix to try to get up hazards as soon as possible, but he leads with Cofagrigus, and this is bad because although I have a fire type on my team specifically to take Will-O-Wisps, I considered I should probably use something other than Delphox because Cofagrigus is a ghost type and can easily just use its ghost stab on Delphox instead of burning. See, what I'm saying is I would have switched into Delphox there to take the Will-O-Wisp, but he is a ghost type and can just go for Hex and do severe damage. So here, I went for Rest after that Will-O-Wisp, and now he's setting up Toxic Spikes. There's his second layer. I did manage to get up the only layer of Stealth Rock. So here he goes for Hex. Does almost half. Here I wake up, get off a heavy slam on this thing, doing basically 0 damage, and I got mummied in the process. I considered going out to here to Delphox again, but like I said, there's just I don't have an answer for this Cofagrigus. That's basically what I'm getting at. This team has no answer for this thing. So I'm burnt. I just go for Earthquake to do as much damage as possible, and I still don't even take it to half health, as it can take me out with another Hex. And it has leftovers. So I opt to go out to my Hitmontop to get a Toxic off, I guess. Which goes through, because like I said, I have no answer for this thing. And he goes for Hex. Probably going to do a lot of damage. Yep, about the same as it did to Steelix. So after all this residual stuff wears off, maybe the next turn something happens. I withdraw into the short hair, the Tangrowth. I think, all these Pokemon are named after songs, which wasn't intentional. When I make Pokemon, I guess, from the RU tier, I must just name them after songs for some reason. So he, what do you go for, Hex? Yeah, and because Toxic Spikes are still up, that still did severe damage to my Tangrowth. But now I'm going to get off a knockoff on this thing. Except I'm not going to get a knockoff on this thing, because he goes out to Virizion, who I've never seen him use before. And I, didn't think he would switch it into Tangrowth, but he did, knowing that I would go for knockoff somehow. Gets rid of its Lumberry, so, I mean, now I can't poison it or whatever. And I am going to go for Sludge Bomb, as he tries close combat, but because Tangrowth is so bulky, I'm actually able to live with 4 HP and get off that Sludge Bomb. And get a crit, which means I take it out, so I don't even need to poison it now that I knocked off its Lumberry. That's crazy. It took a +1 close combat. Tangrowth, you are pretty amazing. Unfortunately, I couldn't, really do the regenerator, core with Alomomola. That would have been nice, but didn't happen. So I go out to Hitmontop as he goes out to Excelgor, and I'm expecting like Memento or Spikes. Not U-turn. U-turn. I never expect U-turn from Excelgor because Excelgor doesn't really. Or no, maybe by this time I knew. Because I think he used that Excelgor in an earlier battle we had. So I should have expected him to U-turn there, but I didn't just because, Excelgor basically never U-turns. But it did there, right back out into this Cofagrigus, who is getting worn down, but the hazards, which I think are still just the toxic spikes, are still up. I think that's all he has. There I just went for close combat because I didn't want to switch anything in to take a Hex to do half damage again. I actually lived the Hex this time, I don't know how. The first time it did about half, the second time it did like a third. That's some pretty skewed rolls there. But like I said, now his Cofagrigus is finally low enough that I can go into my Delphox, activate my Lumberry, because of the toxic spikes. I actually had this kind of planned out from the beginning. Then I'd go for Flamethrower, hopefully take it out, and then steal its leftovers. I do take it out, and I do steal its leftovers. So Excelgor comes back out once again. And I just went for Magic Coat because, like I said, this thing does Memento, Toxic Spikes, or not Toxic Spikes, regular Spikes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But nope, knock off. I'm not even going to elaborate on why I didn't expect knock off from Excelgor, but he ends up taking out my Delphox and brings in Bronzong. And I believe Delphox was the only thing I could possibly hit this Bronzong with. Yeah, that knockoff did a clean 3%. Knocking off a Light Clay though, so now his Light Screen and Reflect will only last 5 turns. And I'm just going to go for Scalds to try to burn it since knockoff won't be doing much anymore. Scald again. 0 damage again. No burn. There's a Trick Room. And finally, the explosion. Doing hardly any damage to Alomomola. I mean, that was quite a bit considering it's solo Momola, but, you know. Now he can go out to Camerupt, Mega Evolve, probably take my my attack if I outslow it, which I might actually do, because I'm pretty sure I get an attack off on this thing. Nope. Okay. Good to know. Late screen wears off. Now I go out to my Doug Trio. The Reflect is still up, however. He goes for Earth Power. I live it with my Sash, of course. But because the Reflect is still up, this Earthquake isn't even going to take out the Camerupt. And I will go down to the Poison, and I believe that will be the battle. Yep. So, a huge defeat against my cousin slash rival Tyler. I'm not going to blame it on my team. Well, yeah, my team building is pretty flawed, just because I don't have a lot of RU pokes, which yeah, I'll have to fix that, of course. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Look forward to the final battle, definitely. We have one more battle after this to top it all off. So look forward to that. Let me know if you'd like to battle me. Let me know in the comments. Just say, hey, let's battle. Check out Tyler, and thank you for watching this video.